Hey there, welcome to the 2020 Soccer Coaches video. If you're receiving this video, you have volunteered to be a coach, and so we thank you so much for doing it. We appreciate your time a lot. Normally we host the meeting here at Barber Park, but this year it'll be through video. So the first thing I'll cover is our COVID guidelines and how it'll relate to our soccer season. None of this is something new that you haven't heard from somewhere else, but I'll remind you of some things and what you can expect that we will expect from you. So during gameplay, participants should remain 6-foot distance while not directly involved in the game. So we recognize that face masks would be challenging to wear during gameplay, so we are not requiring it while they are playing. So basically, if you can't keep 6 feet apart, you should be wearing a mask unless you are playing the game. So if you're walking up to the field and you're with your teammates and you're walking closely together, we ask that you wear that mask. We ask that you will place personal belongings, so their bags and water bottles or whatever, 6 feet apart from others, so you don't lump them all in the same pile. Wash their hands, use hand sanitizer prior to the activity. We'll have some hand sanitizer out here available too. No handshakes before or after games. There will be no bench or bleacher seating for the sidelines. Participants and spectators are encouraged to bring their own seating for games or just spread out. A lot of the younger kids, they're used to not having benches and they sit in the grass and it works fine. But again, just encouraging the 6-foot distancing. The total number must be 50 or under. If there's more than 50, they have to be at least 30 feet apart. We are spacing our fields appropriately, and that shouldn't be a problem at all. Again, you should wear a mask at all times except for eating, drinking, or when outside and able to maintain 6 foot. And lastly, spectators from the same house should sit together. There will be signage to help remind and direct everyone to help maintain distance as much as possible. Our mission statement for Mahomet Parks and Rec is to improve the quality of life for all participants by meeting the needs of the community through the provision of safe, healthy, recreation, excellent leisure time activities. We promote good sportsmanship, which is a combination of fair play, respect, and consideration for opponents, spectators, teammates, coaches, and officials. If there are any ways that we can help you be a great coach, if you need tips or drills or whatever it may be, please don't be afraid to reach out for those things. We have a coach's responsibility code that we communicate with our coaches every year. A lot of you do this and it's awesome and it's natural, so we don't even have to worry about it. But in being a coach, a lot of the responsibility ends up being communicating with your team. That's a big part of it. It's not the most important, but if you have a co-coach, it's always a good idea to assign someone to be a communicator. If you don't, maybe your wife or your husband will do it, or you can find a parent. So our code includes 7 things that we list out. So overall, the goal is to teach sport fundamentals and a love for the game, right? And to encourage team play, reinforce good sportsmanship, show respect for referees, other coaches, and players at all time, to be a resource person to your team, helping them to develop their athletic and human potential, and to recognize that all children are not the same and respect their individual differences. Next, I'll cover some of the logistical things. So what to wear. All players and coaches will be issued rec t-shirts. You have your colors and your sponsors all assigned right now. You'll get that email with all that information. But so the players must wear that shirt, and it's helpful if the coach does too. It's helpful to identify that you're that coach. For me too. Soccer cleats are allowed, however, no metal spikes are allowed. Shin guards are required. And no bandanas, no jewelry, typical no things during sports. You will receive your t-shirts either at your first game or your first practice. Whenever we get them, we let you know and I'll clue you in on that, but definitely before your first game. We do have a picture day every year. This year it's on August 22nd, and it's usually 30 or 45 minutes to an hour before your game time, so that you can take your pictures and then go play your game. So you'll see that on the game schedule when that is posted. You will receive your roster with all their contact information in an email that you will get by Friday. I'll wait and give you guys time to watch this video, but you will receive on Friday your roster with that info, a sample email, some reminders. There will be attached to that email your practice schedule. Only 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th will get practice times. 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 1st and 2nd grade will not have practice times because the format has half practice in it. And I'll explain more of that later. So the practice schedule will be attached to that email. Everything's going to be through email. And we'll also give a drill packet if you want to use that. You can of course use YouTube or whatever else you want to use, but I'll attach that as well to be a resource to you. Practices will start August 3rd for the 3rd and up, so we tell them that the coaches will contact them by that date. So you're receiving this video today, Thursday, so we're asking that within the next week you get to contacting your team and communicate with them the details that you hear from us. When it comes to game days, there will always be a site supervisor available. This year you will not get ball bags. You normally get an equipment bag here at the meeting. You leave with a bag of balls and cones and whatever. This year you're going to be retrieving that before your practice or game from the site supervisor. We're going to sanitize them after and before any use. So you'll get that from us instead of taking that home with you. So again, you'll get your balls from a site supervisor. You will not receive your own. There will always be first aid, AED, ice packs available. If you see someone riding around in a golf cart, there's an AED, there's a first aid on there should you need it. There will be some in the concession stand as well. So please know that that is available to you. There will be no concessions this year, so please be prepared to bring your own drinks or snacks to the games. Weather cancellations, if it rains and you're concerned about whether we're going to have a game tonight, or if it's Saturday morning and you're concerned about whether we're going to have a game, we post Saturday mornings by 7:30 if we are canceling. And during the week, we post by 4:30 if we are canceling. You can find that out by going to our website, mahometrecreation.com, or you can sign up for our text alerts and get a text to your phone. The way to do that is on mahometrecreation.com. There's a tab that says Field Status, and it'll show you how to sign up for text alerts. I highly encourage you to tell your team to sign up for those text alerts so that you don't have that responsibility on you to let them know when things are canceled. They can hear that from us. I've stated before that the game schedules will be posted online. One thing we always encourage is that you do not print your game schedule. If there's rainouts or a change in the schedule, your printed schedule will not be correct, but the online one will always be correct and updated. So we will post that next week. It'll be live online at mahometrecreation.com. And the rosters will also be on there so that everyone can see who's on everyone's team. For 5K, your games will be at Bridal Leash. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, your games will be at Barber Park. 5th and 6th, most of your games are at Barber Park, and a few will be in Champaign, as you will be playing a couple Champaign teams. Practice days, again, 1st, 2nd grade, you do not have practice times. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, you will, and that practice schedule will be attached to that email that you get Friday. One thing we encourage with our staff, with our participants, with our coaches, with anyone involved in our programs is the 24-hour rule. The 24-hour rule means that before you communicate a concern or something that bothered you or something that frustrated you, you wait 24 hours. Oftentimes, you may realize that it wasn't as serious as you thought it was. You give yourself time to cool down about something. So encourage your parents as well. If something comes up, give it the 24-hour rule before you express your next, I'll discuss the format for the 4-year-old, 5-year-old, kindergarten, and 1st and 2nd grade leagues. So if you're not those coaches, this isn't for you. But so one common confusion is, okay, the format is half practice, half scrimmage. So when does that start? If my game's at 8:45, does that mean I get here at 7:30 or whatever? That's commonly confused. So if you're, for example, if your game is at 8:45, then from 8:45 to 9:15 is your practice time, and then 9:15 to 9:45 is your scrimmage time. So again, your format is 30 minutes practice, 30 minutes game or scrimmage time. So if you are scheduled at Bridle Leash West, that is an outfield. If you're scheduled at Bridle Leash East, that is an outfield at a baseball diamond. There's going to be 2 fields in the outfield. And so if it's Team 1 versus Team 2 on Bridle Leash West, you guys will practice on your separate fields. And then when it comes to scrimmage time, you split your team in half. You play 3-on-3 or 4-on-4, whatever the rules say for your specific league. And you'll use those 2 fields to get the most game time as possible for all the kids.